describe this in the incident report. Yes. Hello there. You are 7 minutes early. Alright, give me a moment. Orphan prepared something for me, too. Let's see. Hello and welcome to Rhodes Island Pharmaceuticals. I am Dr. Kal'tsit. On behalf of the medical department, I would like to welcome you to the organization. As you are likely aware, Rhodes Island is an organization predominantly staffed by and led by those infected with oropathy, and the search for a cure, as well as improving how infected individuals are treated on the whole, both medically and societally, is one of our foremost concerns. As a new operator joining our team, I will be providing an initial medical screening. Thank you for your cooperation. Apparently, I can be a bit brusque. Warfarin decided to give me a script. I think it seems forced and corporate, but evidently I struggle with putting patients at ease. I'm perfectly capable. I just don't see the need to dance around difficult topics. So, you are a recent recruit. Let me just put that away. I can handle the incident report later. So, you are a newly recruited elite operator who worked collaboratively with RI in the past as part of Penuin Logistics, yes? Alright. Your combat record speaks for itself. You are very capable in the field, which is why you have been offered the position of elite operator immediately upon joining Rhodes Island. But you and I personally have never met. And you have not undergone our typical Rhodes Island medical screening. Now, to begin with, are you infected with oropathy? This becomes much more straightforward if you self-report in that regard. You are. Do you have any originium lesions on your skin? Yes? Where? Your left shoulder and your right side. Do I have your permission to inspect them? All right. Let's see. Have you been receiving regular medical treatment? Managing your symptoms early is vital. You've been taking suppressant medication at the very least, have you not? Good. Do you at any point channel arts through your body? No? Let's keep it that way. Channeling your arts through the originium in your body is a crutch. It strengthens your arts, to be sure, but it only serves to worsen your condition. And the fact remains that oropathy is an incurable and terminal disease, and it is unwise to exacerbate its symptoms. Do you know when you were first infected? 2 years ago, I see. Wow. With the proper medical treatment and caution exercised, you could still have a life ahead of you. These lesions on your side. They do worry me, I will admit. All right. I'm going to press against them now, all right? I need you to tell me if it hurts more when I press or when I release. Well, that reaction removes the necessity of the question, doesn't it? If I go to the other side, and I press, and then release. Now, as you are likely well aware, the condition of oropathy is caused by the mineral originium taking root inside a living body. That originium then begins to grow and spread, crystallizing more and more of the body. The condition becomes lethal when either a large fragment of originium obstructs an artery or the crystallization impacts the function of a vital organ. That you have crystallization in this particular location and experience pain as a result is something that will have to be monitored closely going forward. With the regular use of suppressants, regular checkups, and proper medical care, it is still likely that you could have a life ahead of you, but if the situation is mismanaged, the originium itself could then grow into your digestive organs, which would complicate matters. Or alternatively, if it grows vertically, the infection could target even more vital organs, which are more difficult to perform targeted extractions in. Not to worry though, the situation remains manageable. When's the last time you had blood work done? I see. That is more long ago than I would necessarily prefer. That's all right. You can perform an assessment right here. I will also be ordering an X-ray for you. At Rhodes Island, we have 3 primary methods by which we monitor the condition of our infected operators and staff, as well as the non-staff patients we care for. The first is, give me just a moment to log this information. The first is, of course, with blood work. To put it in the simplest terms possible, we collect a sample of blood and then use our equipment to determine the blood originium density, that is, how much originium is present within the blood per liter. The threshold for diagnosis with oropathy is 0.08 units per liter, and that would be a very minor early stage case. At the mid stage, that typically arrives at around 0.15. And, well, as the situation worsens, that number goes up. So it is an effective tool for monitoring condition and ensuring that the blood originium content does not exceed safe levels. The second, if you are curious, is through the use of an infection monitor. You will be assigned one. You will be expected to wear it at all times. The infection monitor is a very simple tool. It gathers basic biometric data at all times and uses that data combined with the intelligence of the PRTS system to make an estimate as to your condition. It is not as exact as the other 2 methods, so it is not preferred during these checkups. However, having one on at all times, especially in the field, can inform decisions as to whether it is unsafe for you to continue activity or field work, and whether retreat would be advisable. I expect you to wear it at all times, especially in the field. The last primary method of determining oropathy and its severity is through X-ray screening. The crystallization appears as a sort of dark shadow or splotch on an X-ray. And so, by scanning the parts of the body where we suspect there may be originium growths, we can determine their presence and how much of it there is. This is also useful when it comes to predicting the development of originium-related mutations. For instance, Provence, the former catastrophe messenger, is one of our patients, and a sniper operator, and she has experienced oropathy-related mutation in her tail, which has caused it to grow significantly longer and fluffier than is typical for a lupo. She is actually occasionally confused with a vulpo. And by performing X-ray scans of the area around her tail, it becomes quickly obvious that there is a cluster of originium growth near the base of her tail, which actually appears to have grown out into new internal structures which assist in supporting the oversized organ. It is, frankly, a fascinating development, although it is a sign of an advancing case. Perhaps I've violated a degree of confidentiality, although it's not as if she isn't constantly showing off her tail deliberately. Regardless, the point that I'm trying to convey is that X-ray screening is one of the most versatile and useful tools we have when it comes to determining the severity of an infection. So you will be subjected to a full-body X-ray during your initial screening, and periodically, although not at every one of your bi-weekly appointments, you will be given follow-up scans that focus specifically on the areas in which dark shadows and splotches were witnessed previously. Now then, which arm would you prefer that I draw blood from? All right. That is acceptable to me. Why did you request me specifically to perform your examination? I'm curious. You wanted to see what I was about. Certainly a motivation. Although I will say, I would personally prefer it if you had clearer reasoning than that. I'm a very busy woman. I'm the head of Rhodes Island's medical department, as well as one of its leaders overall. And I am often given the responsibility of managing the organization's logistics, recording the events of past operations, and occasionally departing to the field myself. That is what I am about. I am happy to have you on the team. Just to be clear, your record speaks for itself. You're quite capable. And during past collaborations with Rhodes Island, I do know that you saved Amia's life. For that, I'm quite thankful. I tend to be busy, and during appointments like this, I prefer to avoid unnecessary fluff. Am I infected? Yes. Although my case is unique. Let me just remove my jacket. There. You see on my shoulder? Originium lesions. As I said, my case is unusual. In what way? That is information you're not privileged to. Why, yes, in this case I do place a higher value on my own confidentiality. I admit I should not have spoken about Provence's specific circumstances, but to be entirely honest, if you spent enough time here, she would have told you about them herself. Furthermore, the exact nature of my physical condition is the sort of information that could cause significant change within Rhodes Island as an organization and could cause problems if that information is not wielded delicately. So I will not be telling you exactly what is unusual about my case, only that it is unusual. I perform all of my own medical examinations. All right, the blood draw site has been disinfected. This will sting. There. Now then, if I just... Does 5 p.m. work as a time for your upcoming x-ray? Good. Then in that case, from here on, you have your own leave to do as you will. I would advise paying a visit to the mess hall and getting yourself some food prior to the x-ray, after which you'll have the remainder of the day to yourself. Tomorrow you will be beginning with Instructor Doberman, who will take you through the standard Rhodes Island training course and physical assessment. She will be determining your combat aptitudes, your arts compatibility, and what role in Rhodes Island we believe you would fill the best. Yes, that was more of Morfrin's script there. So, that should be all. Do you have any questions for me? None? Good. Well, if there are any notable changes about your condition, make sure to let myself or any of the other members of Rhodes Island's medical staff know. They are all quite capable, I assure you. Orphan, Volnick, Ansel, they are skilled medics in their own right, and they should be able to take care of you quite sufficiently. Oh, that Chernobog incident was such a headache. I still don't even know what we're going to do about Tyler. Stuck in a holding cell. We can't keep her there forever. What are you still doing here? You're dismissed.